With the WINN FM News, I am Yulana Weeks. Locally, Anguilla's top cop is pleased about dialogue with St. Kitts and Nevis' Commissioner of Police. Cape Air debuts connectivity from the United States Virgin Islands to St. Kitts. The Bank of Nevis celebrates 39 years of banking excellence. Relaxing creative activity for Miss Talented Teen Pageant contestants. The details and more straight ahead. Commissioner of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, James Sutton, received praise from Mr. Robert Clark, Commissioner of the Royal Anguilla Police Force. Speaking on Radio Anguilla's program Talk Anguilla Rebranded Part 2 with Keith Stonegraves on November 27, Commissioner Clark hinted at the possibility of a strengthened partnership between St. Kitts and Nevis and Anguilla in crime-fighting efforts.
I was in St. Kitts with the ECCB, having a meeting with the Governor of the Bank and the other commissioners, deputy commissioners of the other Caribbean islands who use the Eastern Caribbean dollar. It was a very productive meeting. I had very good discussions with Commissioner Sutton in St. Kitts, and we were able to exchange very useful information between the two islands. So the partnerships are good. The French and the Dutch will be on island next week for an intelligence meeting, intelligence sharing, operational planning. So yes, wider relationships are good.
Clark, like Sutton, has emphasized the critical need for collaboration among the Caribbean nations to tackle organized crime, such as more intelligence meetings, intelligence sharing, and operational planning. Police commissioners and deputy commissioners of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union met at the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank on November 22, 2024 to discuss matters related to crime in the jurisdiction. The meeting underscored the need for commissioners and police forces to network, taking into account the close geographical locations of the islands, their porous borders, and identical issues and concerns relating to crime and crime fighting. Air connectivity to destination St. Kitts has been further enhanced with the services of Cape Air, which commenced on December 7, 2024. As the airline continues to expand its regional service, it will provide customers with itineraries from the United States Virgin Islands to St. Kitts to experience the island's rich cultural history, delectable cuisine, white sandy beaches, and warm and friendly people. Scheduled flights are expected 4 times weekly on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. The Ministry of Tourism hosted a welcome reception for Cape Air on Saturday, December 7 at Cayenne Jet Lounge. The airline's arrival was also marked with a symbolic water salute by the St. Kitts and Nevis Fire and Rescue Services. Quote, Cape Air's new service reflects our commitment to enhancing connectivity for St. Kitts and underscores the destination's readiness to facilitate increased travel and economic growth. This partnership is another step in making St. Kitts more accessible to travelers within the region and beyond, Tourism Minister Marsha Henderson stated as she welcomed the new airline. At a tourism press conference on October 31, Henderson said that the partnership with Cape Air came as a result of multiple requests for air connectivity from the USVI to St. Kitts. Cape Air, through its partnership with JetBlue, also allows passengers to expand their travel horizons for connectivity to and from other source markets, such as Boston, where St. Kitts and Nevis currently have limited services. In addition, Cape Air continues to provide its twice-weekly travels to Nevis, Fridays and Sundays, having recommenced the service to the island in February 2023. Premier of Nevis Mark Brantley spoke fondly of Cape Air during his budget address on December 5, 2024.
We continue to partner with Cape Air on the St. Thomas to Nevis route, which has been witnessing high passenger yields. This partnership with Cape Air has also blossomed into a St. Croix to Nevis route, granting scores of divisions in St. Croix and easier access of movement in and out of Nevis.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Tourism, St. Kitts and Nevis, remains optimistic about an increase in passenger arrivals during the winter season, as Delta returns for another season commencing on December 21, 2024 and concluding on April 26, 2025. The Bank of Nevis is commemorating its 39th anniversary by celebrating longevity and banking excellence. The Bank of Nevis was the brainchild of His Excellency Sir Dr. Simeon Daniel, who soon became the first Premier of Nevis and was later accorded the nation's highest honor, the Order of the National Hero. He aimed to develop a bank for the people, one that would strengthen the island's economy and secure a stronger, safer and brighter financial future for the people of the Federation. The door to the bank was opened on December 9, 1985. From humble beginnings with a single establishment, a staff of 5 and a capital of about $250,000, the bank now boasts 2 additional branches located in St. Kitts, over 136 employees, and over $1 billion in assets. Chair of the Bank of Nevis Board of Directors, Mr. Damian Hobson, shared the bank's progress during an anniversary church service at the Rivers of Living Waters Christian Center.
In 2021, we expanded our reach to St. Kitts by opening 2 branches in Bastille, one on 4th Street and another on Wellington Road. While we have always served a large customer base from St. Kitts, these branches now allow us to provide even greater convenience and accessibility to our St. Kitts clientele. The Bank of Nevis is a safe, stable, and proud indigenous financial institution with assets of over $1 billion EC.
Since its opening, the Bank of Nevis has survived several hurricanes, the Great Depression, and a pandemic. However, the bank remains focused on customer experience, cutting-edge technology, and corporate social responsibility.
Our nearly 4-decade-long journey has not been without challenges, but the trust of our customers and the unwavering dedication of our leadership and management teams have allowed us to grow stronger through every trial. We remain deeply rooted in St. Kitts and Nevis, and we are here to stay, working hand in hand with our communities to meet their needs. The St. Kitts market holds immense importance for us, and we have developed a range of tailored products to serve the unique needs of our people.
The bank's motto, Improving the Quality of Life, emphasizes the bank's commitment to crafting the best deals to help clients achieve their goals. An example is the bank's 2024 Christmas loan promotion.
This Christmas season, we are especially proud to offer an unsecured loan of EC $50,000 with repayment terms of up to 6 years at a competitive rate. This loan can be used for debt consolidation, home improvement, furnishings, or simply to bring joy and comfort to your loved ones during the holiday season.
The Bank of Nevis has contributed to every sector of society, including education, the housing revolution, small business development and advancement, tourism projects, and more. Mr. Hobson said the bank will continue on its mission to improving the quality of life for all Kittitians and Nevisians. Contestants of the Miss Talented Teen Pageant for Sugar Master 53 gathered for a drink, unleashed their creativity on canvas, and enjoyed camaraderie with each other on Saturday, December 7, 2024. Nevisian artist and designer Vaughn Anslin facilitated a paint and sip activity at the Four Seasons Resort in Nevis with the contestants. Anslin told WINN FM it was a fun engagement, even for those who had very little experience with the paintbrush. He said the most heartwarming aspect of the activity was that the contestants used their creative power to develop their pieces without much guidance from him.
Well, basically, working with the contestants was a very fun experience, actually. Some of them were painters and some of them weren't. And it was very interesting. What I did was I actually pre-drew the images on the canvases, so that gave them basically a head start. But I didn't tell them exactly what to do. I just told them to be creative and do what they want, and they chose whatever color they felt like and whatever sequence of colors they felt like, background or no background, pink flower, blue flower, pink and purple flower, anything like that. I just let their creativity be their guide, and I just guided them accordingly, gave them ideas, showed them how to blend colors and stuff like that, but ultimately whatever they created was their own. And I think that was the highlight of the experience, is that they got to create something for themselves, from themselves.
With a glass and paintbrush in hand, the paint and sip industry brings art down to an accessible and relaxing level. Anslin said he is eager to share the art experience with individuals and groups, no matter the occasion. Interested persons can contact Vaughn Anslin at 665-8727 by email at vadesigns52@gmail.com or via Instagram and Facebook. The Miss Talented Teen Pageant contestants will showcase more of their creative potential on Coronation Night, December 17, 2024. Regionally,
Goodbye International Soca Monarch. Welcome a new international soca competition. Courtesy the team comprising its room, Strictly FX, Lullaby Entertainment and Star Global Production Studios. And while details like the name and date are yet to be announced, Jerome It's Room Presea is putting all soca artists on notice that they're going to want to be a part of the event.
The competition will be open to artists locally, regionally, and internationally. So we are putting all the artists on high alert to get their music ready for submission because we'll be moving fast and furious once we launch. So over the next couple of days, we'll be meeting with the ministry as we finalize the format of the competition. And we're letting the younger artists know that there will be a platform for them to showcase their talent as well as the existing artists as well. So we're looking at a holistic approach in terms of not only showcasing the soca music, but developing the artists as well.
It's a partnership which the Ministry of Tourism is hopeful will foster greater opportunities for the development and promotion of soca music, given the absence of the International Soca Monarch these past 3 years.
Trinidad's Carnival is the ancestral home of soca music. Calypso and soca music is the lifeblood of our carnival and our cultural heritage. And the soca competition provides a rite of passage for young and upcoming artists looking to make a name for themselves internationally in the soca space. So the decline of the International Soca Monarch has taken away these opportunities for soca artists to really showcase themselves. And in light of this, the ministry invited interested parties earlier this year for the development, promotion and management of an international soca competition.
The ministry says the group's role will include creating a financially sustainable model for the event. Minister Randall Mitchell tells TV6 the government subvention will be in the range of $3 million.
So we are, at the ministry, excited to partner by offering some limited financial support, leaving the rest to this consortium, and we look forward to them providing a reimagined platform to showcase the best in soca music during Carnival 2025 and beyond, and reigniting soca music's place in our nation's rich cultural heritage.
Back in 2023, ISM promoters once again took the decision to cancel the Soca Monarch, citing insufficient funding. The tourism minister had stated that the request was in the vicinity of $10 million. Renessa Cutting, TV6 News.
Well, the leader of the Alliance for Change, Nigel Hughes, today fired back at Vice President Bharat Jagdeo, who earlier this week accused the opposition of leading a campaign to discredit the Ghana Elections Commission so as to dispute next year's general and regional elections. At a press conference today, Mr. Hughes said the Elections Commission, by its own actions and admissions, is discrediting itself. He said although GCOM has admitted a blunder recently, the PPP is the only party that believes that the current Elections Commission is fit and proper to administer what will be a hotly contested election next year.
The only person who is expressing anything looking like confidence in GCOM at this stage is the People's Progressive Party. ANOG has clearly expressed its disappointment. The People's National Congress a long time ago have been calling for Ms. Singh to go. The Working People's Alliance echoed that call, and we last week, upon this admission of error by GCOM, have said that it is not possible, it is not tenable for Ms. Singh to remain in that position.
Hughes said the recent statements by the chairman of GCOM, retired Justice Claudette Singh, that she will resign when she wants to, shows how disconnected she is from the sentiments of the Guyanese people towards the institution that she is in charge of.
Well, dear Madam Justice Claudette Singh, I know that you've had a long and perhaps sterling career, and I suspect the last act in that career of exercising any sort of judicial function ought not to be one where you have clearly erred, you have admitted your error, and now you're refusing to go because you want to decide when you should go. In the best interest of this country, in the best interest of moving the level of our political discourse, the level of our engagement, and most importantly, the level of confidence in our electoral authority, please go, resign, go home.
The AFC leader also detailed a number of missteps that he believes warrants an overhaul at the Elections Commission. He said GCOM must get itself together soonest, since an election is imminent.
You couldn't ask for better ingredients for the perfect storm for next year. And I plead on behalf of the citizens of this country, let us at least get the electoral process right. Let us get the preparation for the electoral process right, so that we don't start off with all of these difficulties. And the first step in that process is that, of course, we would have to identify who are the persons who are likely to replace Ms. Singh as chairperson of GCOM.
Mr. Hughes said the current list of electors also remain a serious issue, an issue which the current chairman has shown no urgency to address.
Internationally,
one of the key reasons why the UK and the EU are keen on a rapprochement is the threat of an increasingly protectionist America under Donald Trump. On Sunday, the president-elect gave his first major interview since winning last month's election. Speaking to NBC News, he reiterated his key campaign pledges, including the imposition of tariffs on all imports from America's biggest trading partners.
I'm a big believer in tariffs. I think tariffs are the most beautiful word. I think they're beautiful. It's going to make us rich. We're subsidizing Canada to the tune of over $100 billion a year. We're subsidizing Mexico for almost $300 billion. We shouldn't be subsidizing. Why are we subsidizing these countries? If we're going to subsidize them, let them become a state. We're subsidizing Mexico, and we're subsidizing Canada, and we're subsidizing many countries all over the world. And all I want to do is I want to have a level, fast, but fair.
Well, Mr. Trump has promised to slap 25% import duties on goods from Mexico and Canada as soon as he is in office, and an additional 10% on anything coming from China. Many companies are now pushing through orders to avoid expected cost increases. Our North America business correspondent Michelle Fleury met an importer in Philadelphia.
So these are some of the bags that we have at the warehouse.
Is it one of your most popular ones?
Yeah, the Niche backpack.
Handbag designer Sheryl Mosey took action immediately after the election, reaching out to her Chinese manufacturing partner. She didn't want to risk delays, especially with the Chinese New Year fast approaching at the end of January.
After the election, I'm like, okay, we got to get these bags in before you go on your vacation.
The rush wasn't due to a sudden surge in demand. It was the looming threat of tariffs.
I got to be ready and prepared for it.
By shipping her bags ahead of schedule, Mosey is working to avoid the tariffs on Chinese imports that Donald Trump has promised to impose on day one of his presidency. The idea behind tariffs is pretty straightforward. Make imports more expensive so that products made in America and stored in warehouses like these seem like a better deal. It's all about pushing companies into manufacturing in the United States. But the big question is, will companies actually move production back here? One American firm with no plans to bring manufacturing back to the US is Steve Madden, the well-known shoe brand. But it is speeding up its relocation efforts. Just 2 days after the election, the company said it would cut its Chinese production in half to avoid Trump's tariffs.
Our goal over the next year is to reduce that percentage of goods that we source from China by approximately 40 to 45%.
The proposed tariffs are already changing how goods are being handled. Warehousing giant Prologis is seeing an uptick in interest from businesses looking for space to stock up.
These types of requirements have really been on the margin, but you are seeing some goods come into the United States. Our customers are telling us that they're finding spare places to store goods.
I can put my shoes in here, my workout gear.
Sherrill Mosey doesn't believe she can pass the added costs onto her customers. Instead, she's now looking for new suppliers in Cambodia and India.
If you're talking about adding tariffs on everything that comes on, people are going to be more concerned about buying their kids clothes and things that they need in their home, not a bag. You can shop on the website now.
With the disruption already being felt, the threat of these tariffs is already imposing real-world costs on businesses. Michelle Fleury, BBC News, Philadelphia.
The world is drying up. This is according to a United Nations report released Monday, signaling that more than 3/4 of the land on Earth is permanently drying due to climate change. The report found that more than 3/4 of the world's land experienced drier conditions from 1970 to 2020 than the previous 30-year period.
Aridity is increasing worldwide. Higher than 70% of Earth's surface is being affected by drier climates. And in addition, more than 3% of humid areas of the humid areas of the Earth have changed to arid to dry lands.
The report further warned that if global warming trends continue, nearly 5 billion people, including in Central Africa, will be affected by the drying by the end of the century, up from 1/4 of the world's population today.
Global warming has been the main factor explaining the aridity trends observed in the last decades. Precipitation is not changing very much at the global scale, but the strong increase of temperature has caused an enhanced atmospheric evaporative demand that increases the stress and reduces the values of the aridity index that we have used in the report.
The report has also placed farming at risk, with the dry land being less productive and hurting more yields and the availability of food for livestock, further sounding the alarm that this will lead to food insecurity for communities.